Today we're going to be taking a look at a Jeskai artifact slash Jeskai control planeswalker deck. Now, today's deck looks very unique and very strange, and that is because we built around a very unique planeswalker. We built this deck around Karn Living Legacy. If you guys don't know, this card's going to spit out these power stones, and these power stones are mana essentially, but you can only use them for very specific things, which makes it very difficult to use. But our two win cons play really well with this card. We've got things like Dragon Spark Reactor and Tezzeret. Dragon Spark Reactor gets these charge counters placed on it every time an artifact enters the battlefield, so it works really well. Every time we spit out a token, we're putting charge counters on the reactor, which we can then throw fireball at our opponent's face. Tezzeret can animate these useless power stones as 4/4 to attack in with, getting some actual use out of them, which is really helpful. The rest of the deck is very much a control shell. We've got ways to kind of keep the field clear with depopulate. We've also got some great control cards along the way, like the new enchantment Declares War, as well as Ominous Parcel. The Declares War level 2 is actually really good for removing threats off the battlefield. You're going to see us get a lot of use out of this card, especially with a ton of power stones on the field. The Parcel helps us early on in getting mana, but also can be used as a way to remove a big threat down the road. The deck is really fun. Again, very strange and unique, but I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy today's video. We're going to jump into the gameplay now, but there'll be a full deck breakdown at the end of today's video, so stick around for that. In the meantime, down below in the links, there is a full deck list for you guys there. And if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps an absolute ton, and I'd greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, guys, enjoy today's video. We'll see you at the end. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's deck is interesting, to say the least. It's very, very interesting. We have a lot of different ways to get, unique removals going on this game. We've also got ways. I mean, how do I explain this thing? It's basically built around Karn and the ability to play these power stones and take advantage of them as artifacts. And we get to play things like Tezzeret, which is so fun to animate those power stones into creatures. It's a really fun combination with a lot of card advantage, and we've got a pretty good opening hand here. Let's go ahead and play out the Declares War here. I think that's fine. Getting a little Thopter out here, maybe put some damage on him early. We'll see. Pollen is very high today around us, so expect me to be sniffling a lot. Well, they just throw away a JESKAI Naturalist. That's kind of nice. We'll be seeing you, Naturalist. Glad it's Selesnya Enchants, actually, because feeling pretty good about that. Let's go ahead and drop another one. We may... Okay. Okay, they're already upset. They're already triggered. I got all three Planeswalkers in hand here, which would have gotten me a ton of value down the road. Also, I could have sacked the Parcel to find our fourth land drop to then play the Planeswalkers if I didn't top deck a land there. But yeah, they made a huge mistake there. I think that was a bit of a shame scoop, so I guess on to the next one. Oh man, poor enchants, huh? That was crazy. That was crazy. They walked right into it, which is really the bummer there. It's we played out the enchantment, and if they just would have read Saga 2, they might have not have made the same play. But opponent goes first here. I'm gonna keep this. I do have an interesting hand. The Parcel does get us our third land drop, so I think I'm gonna go for this. I am gonna go ahead and drop down a tap land first. Yeah, I think a tap land first, because the Parcel does come out on one, but then I don't have a mana to come down for a two mana spell. So I think I like having the Declares War as a potential body to block with this next turn, which is exactly what we're going to use it for. Which is a bit of a bummer, because well, actually, I'm not going to block. I just realized the adversary is only a 1 toughness creature, so we can actually get a really cheap removal spell off this. This is actually working out pretty well. But they absence, which is still fine. That's still an artifact I can tap. So again, another big mistake, in my opinion, that our opponent just made off of the Declares War. A very tricky card, apparently, to play around. I'm gonna play this out, and I don't have 2 blue. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and play this out as well. All right, so let's get out another Declares War. Say go. This is actually going really well. extremely well, because now they can't really play into me at all, because again, I'm gonna have another removal spell for basically 3. I can basically deal 3 damage to the next creature that they feel like casting out here, which is really good. You go wedding announcement. Okay. See. Just like so. And we get another blue spell, or blue land, so we're gonna hold on to that. There's no need to do anything else here. We'll probably just use the clue token to draw into another card here. I've also got the protocol if I want, but more than likely I'm just gonna be using actually I'm gonna protocol. Didn't expect that. Okay. Didn't expect that. Nice. The reactor is fantastic. Reactor's very good here. Let's see. We need to draw some cards, man. Yeah, we're gonna attack into them, dealing some more damage, and then just allow this attack to come through. It's just 1 damage. We took care of their draw mechanic here, and they didn't hit a land last turn, but they do find one off the top here, so we'll see how this goes. Mono white is tricky. There's so many versions of mono white, you just never know what to expect. The parcel is fantastic because it's just sitting out there basically as like a way to just destroy something, because it can deal, you know, 4 damage to a target creature at any point in this game now that we have enough. We have plenty of mana to activate it, so these 1/1s or whatever. Okay, they're still throwing more into it, huh? Still tossing some more fuel into my fire. All right. It's looking like a really good depopulate here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. A third declares war, man. Getting a lot of this card, aren't I? Yeah, this card's being dealt to me quite a bit. Karn feels fantastic because A, it works extremely well with the reactor, right? And then B, I can get some card advantage off of it down the road, which is fantastic. It does have to survive a couple of turns, which it should. We cleaned up the board. The wedding announcement's done triggering tokens, so it all comes down to what they have to play here as far as creatures go. And I have a body to block with, and I have removal, so good chance here that well, that was actually a really good play because it takes away an artifact. Well played, well played. Well played.
If we must fight, I will not intend. Dominaria's treasures will.
All right. Unfortunately, Karn's gonna take a hit here, but it's totally worth it in my opinion. To allow it to go down to 2 loyalty here. All I really need is these power stones to keep creeping in here, and then eventually, you know, blow up their face and their creatures that they have. And then, yeah, one of the power stones next turn will become a 4/4 flyer, deal some more damage. Lion Sash, not that scary. A little scary, not that scary though. Not that scary. No cards in hand, which is a bit of a bummer, but again, we have Karn on the field, hopefully getting us card advantage down the road. If I can find a Tezzeret, we're in business. Sure.
I require more energy.
Let's go ahead and kill the Sash here. And this is only a 4/4 for the time being, so Karn is going to die, which is so unfortunate. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no attacks. I can actually kill Karn right, or I can kill Cathar right now. No attacks. That could have been a bad mistake on my end, huh? There we go. I can kill Brutal Cathar. Boom. Get him out of here. We get Karn still alive on the battlefield. If I would have attacked there, I wouldn't have been able to utilize that power stone, so glad we figured that out before I screwed it up. All right, that's fine. That takes time to set up. And Karn is going to get a -2 here, which is going to be absolutely clutch. We have plenty of mana to go kind of really deep in the deck if we so choose. Depopulate's fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna go for 6 because then I can still play a Planeswalker if I top deck it. 4 mana is kind of our biggest potential thing that we can draw. So going 6 deep allows me to play upwards to 4 mana. Nice. I think Tezzeret's the move here, to be honest. Tezzeret is just the fastest way to get card advantage, because if we continuously draw, you know, artifacts off the top of our deck and discard them, we're going to be getting a ton of card advantage. So I think that's the play. Get back into this game. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like I said, guys, very strange deck that we have here today. It is very, very hard to navigate, I feel like. But yeah, it's a little above my pay grade. But hopefully we can get through this pretty clean. I wonder which creature they take here. Depends on how much life gain they have, though, I suppose. Because if they take Voice of the Blessed, that means they intend to gain a lot of life. If not, they're going to take the 3/1 Adversary. They take the Adversary. Okay. Either way, I'm in a very safe position, though, because I do have Depopulate. At any point in this game, I can pull the trigger on that. Obviously, the Restoration's a bit of a bummer, though, because, you know, it comes out as a creature next turn, and then... Okay, so they're going to go -3. Interesting choice, I guess, to get something in front. Okay, well, not good. First strike, if you would gain life, they gain that much life +1, and it gets 1/1 till end of turn if they pump mana into it. So I could create a 4/4 body to attack in with, but that doesn't seem like the... Well, actually, it does seem like the move if I go with the Depopulate first. Isn't that a good play? All right, so I think we Depopulate first. We break that shield counter, and then we force their hand on the Elspeth protection by blocking with their Dawn's Knight. I think that's fine. I don't like it. I don't absolutely love this play, but it is all we have for right now.
No one's coming to see.
And I still have a counter spell, which is great. I would imagine they're going to protect their Elspeth because they're going to get a 3/4 body coming off of that enchantment, and they're going to want to put a, you know, counters on it. So this is good for us. It at least buys us another turn with both of our Planeswalkers not dying, and I have a counter spell to protect everything. So this is good. Now I just got to figure out a way to deal with the Restoration next turn, which isn't exactly going to be easy. Hopefully Karn can dig us up something here with its Minus ability. What do we want to see? Artifacts and graveyards. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. All right, let's see what... Oh, sorry. Let's see what we need to dig up here that we would want. Depopulate would work. The Parcel would work. I could... Well, actually, no. It's a 6-powered creature, isn't it? Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Depopulate's pretty much one of the only things. But again, I think we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards deep. 8 cards deep.
We must conceal
8 cards deep, and we need to find something here. Oh no, we whiffed. We kind of whiffed, guys. Yeah, we kind of whiffed. That is really sad. All right. They're probably going to give this thing flying next turn. Wow. I guess I could have drawn 2 more cards with Tezzeret and discarded the Bank Buster, but I don't know if that was the play or not. Yikes.
Keep working.
All right, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Okay, so no attacks, obviously. But the 5/6 first striker is out here and it's creating 1/1 spirits. And they have an Elspeth. So it's going to get really, really tricky from here on out. Gotta find a depopulate or we're in a lot of trouble. Good news is, like I said, I've got a lot of really good planeswalkers out here. Hopefully we can get some value off of those. But the opponent's probably going to try to run over one of them here. I wonder which one they take. I've got two really good options here because I got another Karn ability to go off for -2 this turn. They're going to go ahead and kill the Tezzeret, which is kind of what I expected, if I'm being honest. It's fair. But again, Karn should be able to find us what we need. Or we just draw it. That works. Perfect. Perfect. And then this comes in, animates a Power Stone. And now we're clean. I was going to probably be able to pull that off anyways. Like I said, we were going to go into the opponent. We were going to go into our deck for 8 cards here. Again, or 9 cards. And there's almost no way we wouldn't have found it. So this worked out either way. We wouldn't have been able to kill Elspeth that turn though. So they would have got a minus off if we didn't get that depopulate off the top. So there is a definite benefit to us finding it off the top there. All right, I think we're gonna win this game now, guys. It's not over yet, but it is pretty close to being over. Let's see what we hit here. Bummer. Bummer. Let's do this. I guess I probably maybe should have drawn a card with Karn there first, and then did Tezzeret's ability. That might have been helpful. All right, so they're gonna just take this, understandably. We're gonna draw another card. Yeah, there's a couple of things I could have done there before I decided to plus with Tezzeret. That was a bit of a mistake. Gonna kill this because it has flying and I don't want it to come over the top to kill my planeswalkers. A little bit of mistakes there made on that turn. I'll own that. I'll take it. It is what it is. Opponent down to 8 though. I can crew the Bankbuster next turn and just go in for lethal. I could also animate another artifact. But yeah, that's GG's. That was a little sloppy at the end there. I definitely could have cleaned that up, but the game was really, really fun though. And we got to showcase a lot of what this deck can actually do. And we had we were able to answer so many good things here. So I'm feeling pretty positive about the deck. So GG. All right, I can't lie to you guys. I just played another game. You guys aren't going to see it on the recording. I did win, but I made 2 very embarrassing misplays and just decided let's just scrap that one. Don't really feel like reading a ton of comments about my misplays. So we're just going to scrap it. But it was fun. It was fun. We got it wasn't as, as detailed of a game as the game before that, the one you guys just saw. That game was pretty nice, being able to just utilize most of our abilities. I get to go first here. Opening hand is a little scary, but I do have the parcel, which does find me mana down the road if I need it. I also have Bankbuster. So there's ways I can find my land drops here. So I'm actually going to keep this. And we don't even really need it. I mean, I guess we do need blue, but I do find a 3rd land, so that feels really good. So we're going to go with the Bankbuster here. I'm going to try to take it a little slower than that last game because, again, I kind of embarrassed myself that last game, to be honest. All right, yeah. I think I'm going to go here, lay out this to find our blue mana, and then we'll say go. I'll probably crack that. That way I can get to Fairy down, and then play Karn after that. I guess it depends on what they play. Okay, so Old Rutstein's a pretty powerful creature, having 4 mana. I'm gonna need to find the Lantern so I can hit their graveyard. I think that's gonna be the move. Yeah, I'm gonna either want to hit their graveyard or hit their creature here pretty hard. I am gonna go, I think, to Fairy, like I said though. Teferi's a good option. So is Karn though. I don't know. I have a lot of good options here. I think I'm gonna go Teferi though. I wish I would have had a Tezzeret to be played on turn 4 here, because being a Tezzeret, I could, plus it and, get some card advantage going right away. I think that would have been really nice, or even create a 4/4 body. But Teferi is a really nice card here. Being able to untap the Bank Buster to redraw again is really nice. But they have Soul Transfer, so they look like they're very much a control deck here, which is kind of weird to see an old Rutstein. I guess maybe it's a bombardment deck. Could definitely be a bombardment deck. But why play old Rutstein? It just seems, I mean, I guess it does make sense to have old Rutstein to fill up your graveyard, but it just doesn't feel like a great idea, you know? All right, I'm gonna build up I think I'm gonna go with the Reactor Wincon here. The Reactor Wincon is very good because there shouldn't be too much for them to remove artifacts off the field. I'm gonna go ahead and draw cards instead of playing the Declares War. Go ahead and pass the turn. This is a tricky matchup here, that's for sure. I don't know what the heck they're even up to. They drop another creature though, a Spider Domain. Return this the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Gains. Oh, okay, so they can bring it back for a lot of mana, but with Domain, it's not that much. I have no idea what they're doing, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it. I have no idea. They are Jund though, so they have access to red, which gives me the feeling it's, you know, bombardment. But then I see creatures like the Green Widow and then old Rutstein, and I'm like, well, maybe not. But it's either one or the other, you know what I mean? Like, you either fill up your graveyard so your bombardment gets play, or you fill up your graveyard to reanimate. And I don't see clear signs of either one of those style of decks here. They play out a War Chief, huh? Interesting. Interesting. More blue seems good, and then being able to take out both their creatures in one go next turn seems like a fun idea. Now, I could kill old Rutstein right here and now, but again, I think just banking on us being able to go next turn, sweeping up the board here. Obviously, they'd create a 4/4 out of the mix, but I think this is fine, man. I think this is fine. I could still draw a card too on top of that. This is fine. I'll take 5. I'll take 5. And if they do have removal spells, you know, so be it. Let them use up a couple removal spells on these Thupters. I don't care. I don't care. We're building up a good reactor, Dragon Spark Reactor, as a potential win con down the road. We'll see. Red and green though, I mean, they do have, you know, things that do destroy artifacts. All right, that's annoying. That's annoying. Only going to be able to kill the War Chief now. Bummer. Yep, it's fine. They have 3 mana to work with here because of those treasures. We gotta remember that. I love this though. That's actually really good. Man, this is so annoying because now I have to tap things I don't want to tap here to deal with this problem. Because we do need that, you know, mana and the Bank Buster to be untapped, but we can't have it all, unfortunately. All right, we can play Karn out here, and we can still utilize the protocol. The problem with Karn is that it's not going to be able to protect itself, though. We had to tap our Thopter, and they have enough to just double attack and kill it, but it does take some pressure off of our face for the time being. So things aren't going well. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Things aren't going very well for us at the moment. To invoke Despair's down though. Hopefully they don't have a third here. That would be pretty unfortunate. They go both to the face. Okay, that could mean a lot for us here, guys. That could honestly mean a ton for us, because by them not killing my Karn here, that might have just solidified a victory potentially here for us. We'll see. We'll see. If I can find the way to exile the graveyard, we'll be in pretty good shape, to be honest. All right, what do we want to find off the top of our deck here? A lot of things can help. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're gonna do this for 5.
Desperate times call for innovation.
And we get it to fairy, but disruption protocol seems like it should be the move here, just so we can counter something again. We can tap an artifact to get it for cheap. I'm gonna go ahead and just pass the turn here. We're probably going to end up blocking with the Thopter against the 4/4, and then we'll also draw a card and counter something here, hopefully. I think we allow that. I think we allow that because we can create a body with the Bank Buster here. We have options, guys. We have options. And options are good. I think we're going to be able to navigate out of this somehow. All right, they drop a land. They're out of blood tokens, though, which is great. And let's see what they hit to the yard. Another land. More treasure. What is the move here for us, guys? I think this is a no-brainer. We create a blocker here that we chump with the 4/4. All right. Karn can find us some more things again. Karn is really just getting us a ton of value right now, which is great. I'm hoping they maybe cast a bigger Titan again, or like a reanimation spell. All right, Shieldred's a problem. I'm not gonna lie, Shieldred is in fact a problem. Yeah, I think I have to do this. I can't let Shieldred resolve, unfortunately. Hopefully Karn can just find us more again off the top of our deck. Hopefully our lantern would be the best thing to find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can go 6 cards deep here pretty comfortably.
We need answers.
Yeah, depopulate seems fun, but I actually think the lantern's the play. Is it the play, man? I don't know. Depopulate the board seems very important, but I do think, yeah, I think it's the play, man. I think it's the move. Despark for 5, but then I don't have any mana left over, and the whole point was to get the lantern down. All right, we're gonna have to take a lot of damage this next turn. It is what it is. We're gonna have to take a lot of damage. We're gonna be pushing it. We're gonna be pushing it for sure. Gonna do this now just in case they want to try to cast that that spider. We don't want them to be able to resolve it. That's actually really helpful. 1, 2, but I don't have. Okay, we'll create a Thopter. I was gonna say I don't have the ability here to kill anything, but I can create a Thopter, which does get in front of the 4/4, so that works out. This is a very tricky deck, guys. I'm being completely honest with you guys when I say I am not piloting this thing at top, performance. There's so many different things you can do with this deck. Every turn offers a different play line that could potentially change your future, like the Karn ability, right? Let's just say the Karn minus ability. Being able to go a certain amount of cards deep, you have to risk how much mana do you want to gamble that turn to what you're going to find off the top of your deck, which can absolutely change the outcome of the game. But us exiling their graveyard, I think, was the right choice, which is really what got them to just scoop the rest of the game here, because I have a feeling the rest of their hand probably had something to do with reanimation. So being able to just exile their graveyard there, I think really blew up their game plan. And they didn't have a great way to deal with what was left on the board here. Next turn, we had the reactor, 7 to the face, destroy that. And then we counter stuff. We have card draw. The game was starting to wrap up there. Karn would have definitely found us another Teferi to gain life too. So we were definitely starting to come back into that game as the leader. So GG. All right, one last game for the road. I'm having a lot of fun with this thing though. As silly and weird as it is, I'm having a ton of fun with it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too, man. Anytime I get a chance to play Karn, it's a good day. It's a really good day. I hope Karn gets a lot more tools too going forward in, you know, the newer sets coming out. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Karn is such an interesting card. Lantern into the Declares War, huh? Seems like a keep to me. I hope this is more of an aggro deck because we got a lot of removal here. Utilize it, that'd be great. It's Jund. We'll see if they've got creature-based Jund or if they're going to be more of a reanimator deck too, or we'll see. We'll see. Well, if you had a creature to play next turn, I wouldn't be doing it now if I were you. Well, I can only deal 2 damage. There's a good chance it's stronger than 2 toughness. They missed a land drop. That's gonna hurt them. That is gonna hurt them. All right, well, if it is a reanimator deck, we're seeing probably a possible 5-color deck in front of us here. If it is some sort of reanimation deck, you know, having the lantern down already is good. But I have a feeling we're going to win a really cheap game here with the opponent not having mana. They're going to just scoop up. I think they kept a bad hand here, which is going to really backfire on them. Oh, and we get a Karn. Yeah, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. All right, Karn, goes create those power stones for us, my friend. Create some power stones. Let's go. More mana. More mana, more problems.
Still have secrets to uncover.
Hopefully we get a Tezzeret off the top. Tezzeret is just a card draw machine, man. I ulted Tezzeret too while doing a playtest with this deck, and it was really silly, to say the least. I'm going to try to ult the Karn here. Gonna try to ult the Karn. We'll see if we can pull it off. I'm sure we can. I mean, the opponent's just off to the slowest start ever. That'd be a fun win con to just ult the Karn and just deal the damage with the power stones every turn. Opponent not able to do anything, man. You don't ever want to keep a two-lane hand, and this is completely the reason why. It never seems to work out. Never seems to work out. All right, we're definitely ulting Karn next turn, and I'm probably going to do it, you know, and even though I'm going to lose Karn, I'm definitely going to do it because I have a feeling that our opponent here is just going to scoop. So I want to try to do it and show you guys how good Karn's ultimate can be potentially. Oh, I should have killed. Whoops! I should have killed the Spirited Companion. My bad. I was so focused on how I wanted to play Karn out here. But Karn does ult, and this is kind of how Karn is going to work here. So you don't actually just tap the mana and it happens. You're going to have to actually click the emblem here, and then do one of these, and then it is kind of annoying. It is kind of annoying, but you got to do it. And I could be doing this on their turn, I'm well aware, but I'm just gonna try to get this game over with because you know they're gonna. Wait, can I multi? Oh, I could. No, I can't. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't think I could multi-tap artifacts. That's unfortunate. All right, there we go. All right, so Karn's ability is now online. We've ulted it. Let's go. And then we've also altered the Tezzeret, like I said in the past while we were playtesting this deck. And what's really cool about Tezzeret is when we're tapping land or tapping artifacts, just like we did there, we're actually drawing cards, which is wild. So, all right, the opponent is unfortunately dead. Karn. Bada bing, bada boom, GG's. Karn's ability though, a little annoying. I wish you could actually just tap and then choose a target, but it is what it is. It actually took me forever to figure out how the Karn's ability worked, because I was like tapping my lands. I'm like, why is it not dealing damage? You actually have to interact with the emblem, but GG. That is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it a little bit further, but before I do so, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's made it this far into the video. It means the absolute world to me because it helps a ton with the YouTube algorithm when you stick around this long, so thank you for that. And with that being said, let's take a look at today's build. So, of course, like I said, this deck was built around the idea of Karn. Now, Karn, a very difficult card to build around because again, these power stones are very tough to make work and take advantage of because they're very narrow on what you can spend the mana on. Obviously, we have some great artifacts that you can play out, things like Bankbuster, Lantern, and Ominous Parcel. So there is going to be some use out of these power stones, right? But we really wanted to take advantage of the power stones themselves. And again, I wanted to try to animate those power stones with Tezzeret into 4/4 creatures that can then attack and, you know, be threatening. Now, one creature that's a 4/4 is not exactly going to win you a game, right? So like, unless you can control the board really well, which we do actually you know, do that pretty well. We've got things like Depopulate. We can burn a lot of our creatures out of the way, keep the field clean, and then hopefully get these 4/4s through. But mostly the 4/4s are going to help kind of close the gap, and we're going to try to finish the game with Dragonspark Reactor. I think this was really the card that kind of glued this deck together as a viable win con. Now this card, again, you know, we decide to throw some charge counters on this every time an artifact comes into the battlefield. So what's great about this is almost every card we play here has artifacts entering the battlefield. Now Karn, especially every single turn, is going to be playing these power stones, which is just an added benefit to the reactor because we get a free artifact every single turn that Karn's out here. We just plus it up. There's another power stone. There's another counter on the Dragonspark Reactor, making it bigger, and then we go ahead and play out our hand, which can then add additional charge counters to it. So this is a really good win con, especially if you can stack a few on the field at once. But that's kind of where we started, and from there I knew I wanted to make this into a Jeskai build because, again, I wanted to make sure we had some good sweepers with Depopulate, but mostly because I wanted Teferi in this deck as well, because Teferi was a really good option for artifacts because it can untap your artifacts, right? So let's just say, you know, the Declared War forces us to tap down a bunch of artifacts to blow up something on the battlefield. You know, Teferi can then untap some stuff for us, which is really helpful. Also, it can untap a Bankbuster, allowing us to use it twice a turn. You know, being able to untap things with Teferi is very helpful. Even Karn, you know, bringing these power stones in, they come into the battlefield and then they're tapped. So if you can just untap them with Teferi, it's also very helpful. And then again, because we are such a control shell, I wanted to make sure we had some good counter magic. Disrupting Protocol is really, really good because you can pay one or you can pay, you know, tapping an artifact on the field to cast it for cheaper, which is really helpful. Now, when I played this card initially in the deck, I thought it could override the Power Stones text, which says it can't be spent for things like this. And this says you can tap an artifact to spend mana for this. So they kind of negated each other, I thought, but you actually cannot cast this with the Power Stone, just a heads up. But you do have plenty of artifacts like the Reactor, you know, the Bankbuster, the Parcel. You can tap a lot of other things to cast this spell, which is super great. And then the Lantern was a no-brainer for me, honestly, because if I'm running a bunch of artifacts, I needed a way to make mono blue suffer, right? So if mono blue tries to play out things like the Djinn, you can make it into a 0-powered creature, you know, just by snapping your fingers and exiling their graveyard. Mono black has a ton of things they try to take advantage of. Anything that's Reanimator is going to get blown up. This is actually a really, really good card right now. And then the Parcel was the last card in the deck that I added, and I wasn't sure about it, but it actually worked out pretty good because of its 2-mana ability. the ability to find our third land drop. If we have a parcel in hand and only a two land hand, this is actually not a bad keep anymore, because this can go ahead and sack itself and fetch us that third land that we need, which is really helpful. And if we do have all 3 lands, this can just be a late game passive. Hey, it's on the battlefield, let's just remove this creature in front of us. So ultimately, that's how the deck came about, is how we built it. And again, I ran some games with it, felt really, really good, and I was really happy with how it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deck as well, man. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that. Before I get out of here and get out of here for good, I just want to say a huge shout out to the Mardu Mob. If you guys don't know, the Mardu Mob is the membership program here on the channel, and I got to say a huge thanks to them every single video, just to let them know how much I appreciate their support, because they are the membership program here on the channel. So they help support the channel through their monthly memberships, and I got to say that I do appreciate all of that, and it helps a lot, more than you might ever know. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart for everything you do for me. So much appreciated, and that'll do it, guys. I do appreciate all your time and attention, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another video, which will be a Mardu deck, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Until next time, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.